switches that, so we, up in the sound booth, we go from the computers that are there into a 5-port switch. And from that 5-port switch, we're coming down from that one cable into our closet. And then in the closet, it connects to, our bigger switch there. And then all that goes out to the internet. And so what I found in a lot of different places is we're not getting, it's beautiful. Yeah. We're not getting.
I'm recording the GIF for the for the.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Yeah. We'll have a switch in the middle of all that's still at 10, and I'm continuing to find that all over the place. I'll go in and look. You know how you can look on your main switch and you can see if it's a yellow light or a green light, and yellow means you're at 10 and green means you're at 100. And it's amazing how many times we're still going 10. And I don't know if that's because we've got an old, like Ethernet card and a machine. I don't know, but it's crazy to me. Dave Curley scares us all.
Thank you. All right. You want to tweet and post to Facebook as well?
Facebook would be good. My tweeting is not the greatest. Woo, woo.
All right. That sounds good. Let me go double check on the guy real quick.
Okay.
Launch. So Vamp.
All right. Vamp. Yeah, Papyrus for paper. Mm-hmm. So we, about 4 years ago or so, started. So we've got our church is a crazy large campus, and it's one of those that I don't know, it's 135 years old. And so there's originally a chapel that was then expanded, and then another whole church, part of the church was built on. And so we've got these crazy add-ons, and then we've got these really thick firewalls in between that we're code. And then we've got a whole other side of our campus. It's across the street, 500 yards away. And so we got all this nuts stuff going on. And whenever I came on,
500 yards? Is it 500 yards? Did you measure it?
It's at least 500 yards.
Really?
Huh. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I mean,
it's a long way.
I think almost 2 football fields.
Maybe it's 3. Let's say 300. We'll split the difference.
Hang on. No.
But it's
100. A football field is 100 apiece. So 6 football fields, 5 football fields.
Yeah, 500. Yeah.
You can put 2 stadiums, 3, 4 stadiums between us and the.
Probably not. From antenna to antenna, I think it's around 300 yards.
I'm going to get one of those things and go measure.
You should do that. Yeah. But the challenge that I know he's a distant stop. The challenge that we had whenever we started was we had all these makeshift stuff where they just brought in all these kind of weird digital, antennas. And we had, it was a nightmare. There were literally, I think we had 12 to 15 just random routers around the church. And, we wanted to bring Wi-Fi to the whole campus. And so we went out and we found a product that a company called Ruckus makes, Ruckus Wireless, and was able to bring it all, under one. So now whenever you come in, you see one network, and each wireless antenna has the ability, or each wireless access point has 2 sets of antennas in it. And so you can have a guest antenna or guest side and a authenticated side, and it's amazing It's been so good. And then connecting between the two buildings, we have still a ruckus. They're called bridges, bridges from our side of the campus to the other side of the campus. And that's been amazing because it's taken all kinds of abuse from the weather all the time. But it's been pretty stable. But gosh, networking is a nightmare. Nightmare.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. All right. Toby, remember last week when we did our intro?
I do.
Okay. So we're going to do that again. All right. Let's test the music level real quick. Stephen and Tommy, tell me how it sounds. Your church is old, 1954. Our church is 1870 what?
I would have to. Don't make me do math, man.
Two? It's like pre-Civil War?
Yeah, it's right after the Civil War.
Okay. Yeah. Your church is old. Ha! I scoff at that.
Let's see. I'll have to look real quick.
That's like when you're like up in the Northeast and like checking out, all the cool colonial stuff. You're like, man, this house is like, like I went to George Washington's house. Oh, it's like over, 200 or 300 years old. Wow, that's cool. And then you go like to Ireland or something, and it's like, yeah, no, this bookstore here is like 1,500 years old. You're kidding.
The very first day the church met was 1882. It wasn't actually. It wasn't until 1895 that we were recognized as a church and not just a group community meeting. Yes.
All right, I'm going to test the music here real quick. Tell me how it sounds, guys. Can everybody hear that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to duck it. Hey, this is the ducked audio. Does that sound good? Is my voice layered nicely on it? Brilliant. All right. Thank you. So basically, it's 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. That works. All right. Here we go. Are you ready, Tobias?
Ready.
All right. That's my visual.
Oh.
So I can scrub through all this garbage that we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go. This week in church media. This is the show where we explore everything digital and help you maximize it all and take the gospel to the world. I'm your co-host, Dave Curley from churchtrainingacademy.com. And with me,
Toby Henshaw, youth pastor at Tate Springs Baptist Church and tech geek.
Yes, he is a tech geek. He's extremely geeky. If you were here with our pre-show, you've been talking Wi-Fi and, I don't know, like distances between our two campuses, and like apparently you can put like two AT&T stadiums or something between our,
right.
our primary church building and the school. I don't know. You're getting all tech.
Right.
Stuff.
It's probably like, the fish was this big.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, welcome to the show. For those of you who don't know, Toby's sick. He's not feeling good. And this is his birthday week as well. So
it is. I was sick on my birthday. How pathetic is that?
Yeah. And you just turned 48?
8.
Okay. So you turned 48. So that's a donkey kick. You're sick. Donkey kick.
That's right. That is a donkey kick.
And then last night you had to be on for several hours with a rambunctious youth squad. So that's a donkey kick. And then I said,
yes.
And then I said, you need to man up and come be on the show.
And I did. And the extra donkey kick is because I was feeling like garbage last night. I was probably a little bit firmer with the student than I should have been, and now I'm in trouble with the parent.
Oh,
So it's just like, why did I wake up this week?
gee.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then you have to tell that parent, well, if you'd discipline him, I wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah. Not good. Not
kidding.
good.
Although there's some truth in that in some sectors of society. All right, so
little Johnny is an angel. Yes.
Yes.
Been there, done that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
It's part of the gig.
Wouldn't hurt a fly. Said.
Wouldn't hurt a fly. Yes.
I'm sorry, I waxed accurate there for a minute.
Tell them if you
want to see something.
It'd be duct tape.
You want to see
duct tape? Nothing. We go straight for gaffer's tape.
When you're recording with the TriCaster, get out of there.
Oh, I'm getting the big props for going straight for gaffer's tape. I like it.
Yeah, gaffer's tape's cool. I got a big. Is it in here? I got a big roll of gaffer's tape. You know the big, like the ones that are. I mean, they're like that big. You know the huge.
I got 2 of those in my office right now.
I'm talking the ones that cost like $25 or $30. I was doing doing the AT&T hackathon in Las Vegas on New Year's, and we were live streaming it, for AT&T, and the people we were at the what is it? The Palms Hotel is where we were. So we stayed there, and then the event was there. And the guy that was in charge of all the sound and all the the internal audio production and all that sort of stuff. Turns out, by the way, he's like the head audio guy on the show Counting Cars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, as we were getting things set up, I had a mobile cart, like one of these like one of these road cases that's like a rack mount road case that you put, all your equipment in, and then have like a mixer on top. I had our TriCaster and all that sort of stuff all in there. And we were sitting on a stage, and we had like hardly any space to do anything. So like literally I was at one of those half width tables, like those folding tables, but it's just the half width. It's not like a full,
right. Like a 4 foot. Right. Yeah.
So I'm on that thin table with everything, getting ready to just fall off. And then my chair, I kid you not, was like this close to the edge of the thing. So it was like I would plant myself and then like not move and try to switch live. But the same thing, because I had this rolling road case that had the TriCaster and the sound and all the gear in there. And when they got it, they forgot to buy locking casters for it. So
oh no.
Yeah. So I've got, $25,000 worth of gear in this thing, and it's like right on the edge of the whole deal. So the guy said, "Hey, hang on, I got an idea." And he ran back to his booth, and he comes back with 2 giant rolls of the stuff, and we lifted up the back part and put the casters down inside the gaffer tape.
Oh yeah.
Rolls, right? So now that gaffer tape is heavy, but it's also a lot of friction. So worked out perfectly. And then when we were done, he said, "Here," I think he's like Croatian or something. He's like, "Here, you want?" And I said, "No, I mean, we have some." He goes, No, you take. It's good. It's free. It's good. You're a good guy. And he's like doing me. You're good. I like you. I'll send you an email next time we do show. Oh, okay. Like hitting me and stuff like, well,
yeah.
All right.
2 rolls of gaffer's tape is huge.
Yeah. And he's like, "I do you a favor. Maybe someday you do me a favor." Oh. Where am I? It's Las Vegas. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
That's awful. You're gonna get some random phone call at 3:00 in the morning.
Exactly. He's like, "Can I have your card?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah." Pulled out the standard fake, H&H bagels.
Yeah.
If you're Seinfeld fans, you know what I'm talking about. So, you want to do a show or?
Let's dive in.
Okay. First off, I may have to dart out of here in just a few minutes. It all depends on what's going on, because we've got a guy in the driveway who is replacing the back glass, tailgate glass, on our Mitsubishi Montero Sport.
And you're going to tell us why.
Because it broke.
Because your wife backed into...
You just automatically assumed it was my wife? Like, I know your wife, Dave.
No, I thought earlier you said... No, you just said it was her vehicle. I did. I presumed.
You presumed it was her. Well, you presumed right.
I did.
Yes.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah. No, it was a very simple, honest mistake. You know, she our daughter's school is a couple streets over, and so she went and was picking her up, and she was backing into a parking place, and the parking, you know, there's like trees that line it and all this sort of stuff, and there was a tree that, you know, she usually just, you know, pulls in like straight or whatever. Mm-hmm. She decided, hey, there's a lot of people, so I'll just back in. I can get out easy.
Because we do that in Texas a lot. I don't know about other places. We back in a lot.
Yeah, we back in. We drive on the grass. We do whatever. So as she was backing in, the tree had a kind of like a goiter branch kind of thing, like jutting out.
Dude, I don't think trees have goiters, but keep going.
No, they do. Haven't you seen like these trees? Like, you know, any oak tree, you know, will
like a knot,
have like this, but it's not like a. I mean, it's like a goiter. I mean, it's like a giant boil on the tree. At, you know, at any.
Back me up, guys. Trees don't have goiters.
Okay, you're gonna make me do it, and I'll do it. Here we go.
Now I'm a goiter snob. Great.
Oak tree goiter.
Are you Googling oak tree goiter? Oik.
Yes. I'm going to show you a goiter. Good Lord, there's a guy with a goiter.
If you're Googling goiter, you might want to be careful.
Holy cow. There's an ant with a goiter.
You're going to need therapy.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and a toenail with fungus. That's not good. So anyway, there's this thing on the base of, or on the tree that was like jutting out and stuff. She couldn't see it. And so as she's backing up, she looking out the back glass and looking out the side, you know, all she's seeing is, you know, nice tree. And all of a sudden she hears a pop and she's like, did I bump into something? And she puts it in gear and goes around to the back, and she just underneath, like where the windshield wiper area, right underneath there, she bumped and pressed, and that was enough to cause whatever stress fracture, and the whole thing just safety glass. It just goes, then all fell out.
So it did fall out. It didn't just crack. It shattered and fell out.
When I came home from picking up Jaina, it was I pulled in the driveway, and she's got the back tailgate up, and she's like furiously vacuuming it out and everything. And I mean, it's like a black tinted black back glass, and there's just sunlight shining on through there, man, like it's nothing. So
good stuff.
Yeah. So she called around, found a guy. And the good thing is, the blessing is that, you know, the people you hear on the radio all the time, you know, they're good, and they come out and they do it, and all that sort of stuff is great, but they're really expensive. This guy, he's doing it for less than $200. And so that's a blessing for someone who is, you know, not prepared to drop, you know, $400, $500, $600, $700 on back glass on a.
Yeah, I'd have been putting like trash bags over it.
Yeah.
Just forget it.
It's like, you know,
that's where you use the gaffer's tape and some hefty bags.
Yeah, some plexiglass, and or what you know, like when it's hurricane season. Oh, you don't know about hurricane season. You know about tornado season. Hurricane season, you know, we board up the windows down on the coast, you know, with plywood. Everybody has, you know, in one side of their garage, the wall is just lined with sheets and sheets and sheets of plywood. So yeah, that would be great. I could really redneck it, show my true redneck, driving around with plexiglass and a sign.
You could
and spray painted "Wash Me," you know.
Wash me.
All right, so hey, let's talk. Today, I thought maybe you and I would discuss a little bit about managing all this like photo and video content that we collect. You know, last week you were talking about Filmic Pro, the video app for your phone. And you were talking about, I can't remember the website. I know you signed me up for it, when we started messing with the youth group and all that. That one website where everybody can send pictures to. What's it called?
Snapchat? No. Church Snaps?
Church Snap.
Or Fanfare?
Is it Church Snaps?
Okay.
Church Snaps. That's what we were talking
Church
about,
Snaps, right? Where you take the picture with your phone and you upload it to the site?
Yeah. Everybody basically can contribute to that pool, and then you would take all that stuff and put together the videos and what have you.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's awesome.
So it started me thinking, as church media professionals, part of your job is to gather, photos from events and all that sort of stuff and get things ready, to be displayed during a church service or on the website or something like that. And, I mean, I'm a podcaster, a digital media professional, and I'm not kidding. Just me as a father, I have 150, 200,000 photos. And then as a professional, like stock images and stuff like that, I've got, I don't know, another couple 100,000 images.
Oh, sure. You've got terabytes and terabytes of stuff.
I do. I have a QNAP. What is that one? A QNAP 470 sitting down here that has a stock media library on there that is the entire stock library. Let me find out. That'd be interesting. Just in photographs, and that's going to be photos and some home movies. I'm wondering what I have here. Oh, that's the guy. Can you vamp for a minute? Okay.
Sure. That's the guy.
I'll be back and we'll pick this up. So just answer questions.
Just answer questions. So I'll tell you guys. So Tommy, I am a photographer as well. So I did some, kind of went through the wedding photography, whipping of my life, to now doing kind of seniors and portraits. And Friday night I get a chance to go out and do pictures of, I think I may even mentioned this last week because I'm pretty pumped about it, doing pictures of a thing called A Night to Shine, where it's a prom for special needs kids, people with special needs. And so really looking forward to doing that. But I just recently upgraded my camera, and I went from a camera that was a cropped sensor to a full frame sensor. And the first shoot that I had with that, I filled up my cards so fast because I went from having, a picture being like a 9 meg picture to being almost 20 megs. And I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't thought through that means I'm going to burn through twice the amount of space that I normally would. It was crazy, but I'm blown away with those full frame sensors now because, one, the quality is great, but two, I can crop in post edit. I can crop in like crazy and not lose a lot of quality. It's amazing. Oh, you're not a photographer. You just take pictures. You're a photographer. I have a Canon T5I. Yeah, I'm a Nikon guy. Nikon. Oh, but I chose Nikon. I'm not one of these guys that is strong Canon versus Nikon. I chose Nikon because their lenses ultimately are cheaper than the counterparts in Canon. Usually, not always, but usually, the lenses are a little bit cheaper whenever you get to the high-end lenses. And so that's why I went Nikon, because I'm cheap. And a lot of the people I really respect are Nikon guys too. But yeah. Had to decide, and on sale. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, I don't know if Dave is going to get here. Whenever we're talking about church media, do you guys, whenever you are capturing either images or even video, are you guys good about adding metadata to that so that you can find it easily after the fact? Or are you like me and you should be adding metadata and you don't? Yeah, no. I know some people that are religious about that, and it's so helpful because they can go and they can find just the most random stuff because of metadata tags that they added during the time that they uploaded the stuff. So we basically, all of our video that we take, yeah, all the video that we take, all the pictures that we take, we bring all of that in house. Some of it still, some of it we put on Facebook and that kind of stuff. But like when we go on mission trips and all that, we bring it all in and we store it on a shared drive here at the church that's on a Drobo. Do y'all know about Drobos? Tell me you know about Drobos. Drobo, Drobo. I think it's just one B. It might be two B's. No? Yeah, just Drobo. Drobos are great. They are there's several different styles of them. You can either attach it to a server or a computer, or it can be network attached. So we've got a different kind of network attached storage device on the other side of the street, but on this side we have a Drobo. And the thing that I love about a Drobo is like ours has 5 bays, so we've got a terabyte drive in each one of those bays, and if any 2 of those drives go down at any given time, it's hot swappable. So we can just pull those drives out, put 2 more drives in that are either one. It doesn't even have to be the same size. It can be different sizes. We slap those things in, and it's able to recover itself. So we back up. We also back up our Exchange servers and all kinds of stuff to that, just because it's so robust. But that's what we use to store all of our church stuff on. Even all our podcasts, everything is on that. You do all your work at home. So one of the things that I always fear as the tech guy is back in the day, everybody had tape backups. And so this is probably nowhere near where Dave was going to go, and I'm probably going to bore the snot out of all of you. But we used to have tape backups, and tape backups were good in the sense that you could take a tape backup once a week that was a full tape backup. You remember those? Yeah. We could take a tape backup once a week that was a full tape backup of everything, and then every night do an incremental backup. Then we could take that entire week's worth offsite somewhere and do the same thing for another week. And you kind of rotated them. That way you always had at least one backup that was offsite. So if things went horribly wrong, you could still salvage, and be able to rebuild your structure and have all your data. Tape backups are not even feasible anymore. And the thing, tape backups took forever to back up very large servers. And so I don't think many people even use tape backups anymore. I think most of them use, certain things like Drobos or network attached storage devices. But a lot of people also use the cloud. And so there's different services that you can purchase to store, and it's a trickle backup, and so it will constantly do backups of your environment, but it's just at a trickle pace so that it's constantly updating things. And we don't do that right now, and so I'm the tech guy, and I feel like we're kind of exposed because all that we have is in-house backups. So it's a little intimidating. Do any of you guys are you storing your digital media on servers? Stephen, are you still there? How do you guys store all your stuff? Where are you storing it? I always feel like this is where we need the Jeopardy song. Stephen's gone. We bored him out of here. Anybody else? What are you guys doing for your media storage? Marty? As soon as you said that, he booked it too. Yeah. Well, now he's gone. Dave left, and I'm vamping, and I'm talking about technology that nobody cares about. That's what happens. Yeah. Sorry. He probably had some really cool way that he was going to take the show today, and I killed it. I'm going to blame being sick. Distant snob. I know it, man. You can't. I thought he was going to. I think we're going to come to blows over how far the other building is away from our building. Having a split campus is so complicated when it comes to technology. Oh, Steven, you're back. Steven, you there? Got a question. So with all the with all the media stuff that you do, all the broadcast stuff that you do, how do you store that? What do you guys use to store your stuff? Your browser crashed. Do you guys use like local storage? Do you use cloud storage? Do you guys meta tag? What do you do? How do you handle all that stuff? I know this is a riveting conversation. We store it Big Gravity. So you have two 4 terabyte drives on it. Is Big Gravity, is it just an online storage thing where you load it onto your server and it just kind of does a trickle backup? Is that what that is? Seems like you're a bit behind the times. What is CDN? I got you. Getting to the 20th century behind the times. Although, yeah, one small step at a time. Yeah. So is Bit Gravity, is that like Cobalt? Is that one of those kind of services where you pay a monthly fee and they do kind of an internet backup of your servers or of just shared drives, shared folders? Content distribution network. Whoa. What's up, Dave? Dave is back.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry that took so long. I got this guy paid, and he did a fantastic job. And so I realized I was going to make him my auto glass guy. So I then realized, I've been driving around with this ding on my windshield for the past year. Can you do that too? So he's
wow.
Yeah, he's fixing the ding on my minivan, and so I had to, get all that going. So thank you for your patience.
Sure.
Okay.
So we're talking. I don't know where you were going with this show. We're talking about we're talking about data backup,
okay.
Local, remote.
Absolutely.
So
What have we come up
Stephen, when you say you can use stream, it can do streaming as well. What do you
with?
mean?
What's he using?
Bitgravity? Yeah, I think that's what it was called. Yeah,
Bitgravity is
Bitgravity.
a CDN.
Yeah, he said that too, and I was like, "What is that?" He had to educate me. Yeah.
Yeah, basically what it means is they have data centers, and then they have data centers that are basically have like edge servers, which are servers that cache what's the most current things. Given a certain threshold, this stuff gets cached, and then determining where the users, once you start seeing you have regular users and stuff, then it'll make sure that those areas get cached with your data faster than other places. It's a way to get the content delivered to the people that are watching it as high quality and fast as possible.
But it's not live, is it?
You can stream, yes. They have an RTTMP, RTMP, whatever it is. So you can stream. Does Stephen RTMP? Thank you, Stephen. Do they also do file storage like CacheFly does? Okay, cool. So CacheFly is a CDN that we used at Geeks Life. That is, and they also do the streaming as well. So there's CacheFly, there's Bitgravity. In fact, Leo Laporte over at the Twit Network uses CacheFly and Bitgravity and something else. Oh, he uses Ustream as well. He's got some redundancy built in.
So all these things are just services that would be good for media backup, or do they back up any content that you want from any location you want?
So here's Bitgravity. There we are. There's also CacheFly. And what CacheFly did for us, what they did was they gave us we had an account with them, and then they give us an FTP basically, and with that we can do whatever we want. We were using it for doing all of our different podcast shows. We basically made folders for each show, and we would drop files. Like inside that folder, we'd have an audio, we'd have a video, and then we'd have kind of a miscellaneous or something, and we would toss the various files in there. And then when we set up our RSS string, our RSS files, the feed, they would pull the data from those various folders, and then we submit all that to iTunes. But then when we were using it, we would use it to transfer large files. And they said, okay, if you're going to do that, because you've got remote sites, if you're going to do that, let us get that set up for you so that these things are not sitting out on the edge servers, and it's not using this prime real estate, so to speak, for you to transfer a large file. So they gave us a folder to do that, and that was just in a data center somewhere, so I could dump stuff to there, and then Luria and David could pull it off, and vice versa.
So not really meant for long-term storage then?
I don't think so. I long-term storage for what you're doing, and they generally, places like that, I don't know about what Bitgravity does, but most of the time the pricing is not necessarily on the storage space. It is on how much gets served out. So how much what the stream is. So how much your data transfer is, how many gigabits or terabits or whatever, or gigabytes or terabytes of data that you put out on a monthly basis. And some of them have flexible pricing where, if you're like not doing anything this month,
based on demand,
then it's ramped up, So anyway, but as far as storage goes, there's local backup, and then there's like remote backup.
Yeah, so I was going over that. And so what I was saying is, here at the church, we have Drobo. We got terabytes of Drobo that we store like all our podcasts to, all of our live streams to, all of our shared, like all of our documents to.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's great because it's redundant. If a drive or two drives fail, you just hot swap them and it rebuilds them on the fly. The downside is, and what I was saying, the downside is back in the day, even though it was old technology, we would use tape backups.
Sure.
And so with tape backups, we would do a full backup like on Sundays or Saturdays, and then incremental backups each day of the week.
Right.
And then after a week, you would take those tapes offsite and have another. So you're always had one offsite. But where we stand right now, it's not practical for us to have terabytes of space. You can't do that. I mean, it'd be like I'm dragging my Drobo out of the church once a week.
So there's a solution for that. If you want, I'll be happy to share that with you. First off, why in the world? I'm looking at I was going to show an alternative here, but for some reason, when I went to the website, it went to the Chinese website. Interesting, because I never went there.
Oh, China's hacking us.
No, here we are. Okay, so there's Drobo, and actually both of these I'm going to talk about. I'm a huge proponent of, mainly because I have a lot of them. So Drobo is one I've been using for years, and I've got an original Drobo sitting back over there. I've got an original Drobo FireWire over there. Those are the 4-bay ones. And I use those internally here at the house for like my Plex media server to serve my iTunes collection and video collection and photos and home videos and all that sort of stuff. And then down here, I've got a Drobo S or Drobo 5S that they came out with a few years ago. Drobo used to be a client of ours. So we did, like promotional videos and how-to videos and all that sort of stuff for them. So they part of our agreement was they loaded us up with like all their hardware, for our data center, us individually, all that sort of stuff. So that was great. And I love Drobos. And if you're not familiar with Drobos out there, they are, they're genius. And one of the things that they do really, really good. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, 5D, that's the one I have here. Let's take this 5N, and I'll show you. So the 5N is a box that looks like this. It allows you to put in, you'll see these dots right here. Each one of these represents a hard drive. So when you take the cover off, you've got 5 hard drives in there. Now, what's cool with the Drobos is that it lets you put in hard drives of various sizes, okay? So Toby and I both come from a very technical background. Both worked at Microsoft. I used to work at Dell. And we're familiar with like RAID type setups for hard drives and data storage and all that sort of stuff. And with RAID, you take matching hard drives, matching specs, everything. You take like 2 hard drives or 3 or 4 hard drives, and you put them all in a computer together. And then you either use a hardware card to connect them all, or you do it through software. Either way, you basically can tell the operating system that this group of hard drives I want to be treated as one giant hard drive. And so what it'll do is it'll write the data. If you're looking at my fingers here, you've got 4 hard drives. And as it goes to write the data, instead of filling up this hard drive, then filling up this hard drive, then filling up that one, what it does is it breaks the data up and writes it across the drives. Okay. So let's say 1/4 of a file is here, 1/4 is here, 1/4 is here, 1/4 is here. Okay. That's one type of RAID configuration. What it allows you to do is when you're retrieving the data or writing the data, it will pull it simultaneously off of all 4 of those drives. So you get some really fast data throughput. Okay. So you can write files to it really fast, read files to it really fast. Okay. That's one way. The other way is to do redundancy. And what they'll do is they'll take, say, these 4 drives, and they'll take these 2, put them together, and these 2, put them together. Now, you'll only see them as one hard drive, but what will happen is it will write the data to both of these. And that's called mirroring. So it'll write the file. It'll take half the data and put it on 1, half the data and put it on 2, and then that same half on 3 and that same half on 4. Okay, so you now have, if one of those hard drives goes bad, say this hard drive goes bad, you have these hard drives that you can rebuild your data from. Okay, that's another way to do it. Another way is to go across, where you have, basically, if we have, say, 4 terabytes, then we take one of them and we use it for parity checking, basically. So you'll write something here, write something here, write something here, and then write a recovery file here. Okay, then you'll write something here, write something here, write something here, and then write a recovery file here. And then write something here, write something here, write something here, and write a recovery file. See how I'm on each one of these drives, I've got actual data, and on each one of these drives, I've got recovery files. So if this hard drive goes bad, I've got enough recovery files on here about the data that's on this hard drive in order to replace this drive and reconstruct it. Okay, does that all make sense? Are you following? Okay.
Yes.
What Drobo does is takes that idea, they call it Beyond RAID. Okay, what they do is they say, put in hard drives, doesn't matter what size it is, and we'll take care of the rest. And that's where the genius happens, because like over here, when I started off with one of these back over here, I had like a 500 megabyte, I had a 250 megabyte, I had a 1 terabyte, and I probably had like a 650 or 750 gigabyte, right? I just put them all in there, and it started flashing lights and doing all this, and it came up and said, okay, out of all these, you have 1.3 terabytes worth of usable space, even though I may have had, say 2 terabytes of total space. It only let me use enough of it. And what's cool is when one of those drives starts getting full, like the 250 got full pretty quick, then it's turns red and it says, hey, you need to replace this drive because it's getting full. Or if it gets damaged, either way, you take that drive out, you slap in something larger, and then it just starts spreading that data across those drives. Perfect. And what's amazing is that you can be using your data, writing to it, reading from it, doing all this sort of stuff while it's reconstructing everything. Can't do that with RAID. I've seen RAID servers that were down for days because it had to be rebuilt.
They're rebuilding.
Yeah, and that's a huge process. With this, oh my gosh, I was like rendering like big, like an hour and a half project or something to my Drobo. A drive went bad. The rendering just kept on going. I took out that drive, slapped in another one. It said, I'm reconstructing your data. You may suffer data loss because all the parity information, all the rebuilding information, there's like no redundancy during that rebuilding process, but the chances of another drive going bad during that process is, kind of slim. A couple hours later, man, everything's good. Meanwhile, my files just kept on reading and kept on writing. It was brilliant. Love it.
Yeah, and the performance really doesn't take much of a hit during that time where it's doing that. You can still pretty much work as normal.
It's great. I absolutely love it. And you can set it up. This one is a 5 bay. So what's cool, let's see, there it is. So what's cool is you can set it up so that you can have 2 disk redundancy. So if you have one drive go bad, and another one, or say you have 2 drives go bad, you can pull both of those out, put in new ones, and not miss a step. And that is really cool. Or you can set it for 1 drive redundancy, whichever one you want. So Drobo is fantastic, and they make a whole bunch of different kinds. This one is the 5N that I was showing you. That means network. So basically it attaches to your router like a network appliance. It has a little CPU and memory chip and all that sort of stuff built into it. And so through the software, you can actually like run little servers. You could run a web server. You could run a media server. You could run an iTunes server. You can do all that sort of stuff from this unit. It's really cool. There are other ones that like the 5S or 5D or whatever it is that I have is attached through FireWire or eSATA or USB 3, just like you would hang any external hard drive off. And then they have big network ones like 12 bays and 8 bays and like some serious stuff. And I played with that stuff. It's amazing as well. The other company that I like is QNAP. And jump back over here, switch screens for you. There we are. QNAP. This is what I have actually. this unit. It's a four unit or four drive unit, and what QNAP does is kind of similar to what Drobo does, but a little bit more on the traditionalish RAID side. I can hot swap the drives if one of them goes bad, and it will do the rebuilding and stuff. But you really need to have like matched hardware in there. So that's the only downside. But I find them to be a little bit more powerful than the Drobos as far as network attached devices go. This one has a little more oomph to it than the Drobo does. But those are great. I love both of those. And I've got one sitting right here that I have my stock media photo, all our family photos, and also have like an archive, like masters of all the different shows I do. They all get dumped onto there. So what do you use for remote storage?
Me?
Yeah, you or anybody.
Nothing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is if we ever get hit with fire, we're just totally not good. So now what I actually have is on this side of the street we have Drobo. On the other side of the street I have a thing called Synology.
Yeah, Synology.
It's a NAS. Yeah,
played with that as well. We used to have that.
And so what I want to do is configure those to some extent where they cross back each other up. But I've not taken the time to do that. Okay.
So I have a suggestion, two things that the folks can use. One thing I do here at the house is the machine I'm on right now is my primary workstation. It's my 8 core, 12 core, whatever it is, Mac Pro, the big daddy. So everything this is kind of like the central hub for like all of my production. Okay, I have running on here. Let me bring it up. It's not running right now. I had to pause it. But it's called CrashPlan. It is like Carbonite. For those of you that are familiar with Carbonite, where you basically...
That's the name I was trying to come up with a while ago. Yeah, Carbonite.
Yeah, so what you do with...
I said Cobalt.
Yeah, what you do with Carbonite and CrashPlan is you basically point their app at certain directories and you say, back these up. And what it does is it backs them up on... I think I can change now. There we go. So what it does is it allows you to back things up onto a remote server at a data center. Okay, so you basically go through and add all these different directories. And what's really cool is I don't know if you can see it, but I've got a couple of directories that are locally, and then I've got one that is remote. This one is actually on my QNAP. And then I've got some that are on my Drobos. So and across the network as well. So if you've got like mapped network drives, you can point it at that because it's seen as a local device. And that is dadgummit. Everything's going crazy.
I know what is happening.
Cat's calling. So so anyway, I forgot to tell I was recording. So anyway, what that does then is as long as those drives are attached physically, then it will start churning through whatever directories you've said and start uploading all those. Now, if you disconnect it for a given period of time, and I don't know what the time is, if it's like instantaneously or if it's like, hey, if it's not here for a couple of days, then I won't use it.
Right.
But basically, if it's not physically there, then it will let you know that it's not there, and then you can either like do a restore, or if it's not there for an extended period of time, it will remove those things. So the cool thing is that as long as your hardware is there, if you delete the files, it's going to delete them on the, like after a month or whatever. So you have time to go and do a restore, and you can actually get it set up where it does like, last week, this week, the week before, that kind of thing. And what's cool about this one that I use, CrashPlan, is it's only like $5 a month for unlimited storage, which is cool. I like that. Yes, that was a Google call. Alfredo. I have a Google Voice number. And So it rings on my tablet, on my phone, on my desktop. My laptop is up. It's like all of a sudden, boo, 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 everywhere. Now, Toby.
So what are we saying here? You gotta back it up to get it back with Carbonite. What are you saying, Stephen? I should drop Carbonite? I'm confused.
Well,
don't joke with me.
Of course, you have to back it up in order to get it back. So yes, the backup has to happen.
It's humor.
Okay.
It's humor.
It's hard to tell with typing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ding could be Kat saying, "Get off the phone with Dave."
No, this is Can I just do a side wow moment?
Sure. Open parentheses.
So this is open parentheses. So since we're talking about ministry, I've got a guy in my youth group that, for a person that he's discipling, took a Bible at the beginning of the year. Actually, it's been about 6 months. He spent about 6 months. He's read through the entire Bible, underlining, making notes, and he's given this to this person today on their birthday. He read the whole Bible, underlined passages, made notes to give to somebody that he's discipling.
Wow.
What?
That is cool.
Who does that? It's crazy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. So that's what that was. It was a ding, him telling me I just finished. He says, I didn't know there were so many levels of tired. My tongue is swollen.
He must read out loud.
Maybe. Yeah. 6 months to read the Bible is pretty crazy, but he's a teenager. And so the reality is he spent 6 months thinking about it and 2 months implementing it. So he spent really about 2 months reading the entire Bible. He in the past month, he read the last quarter of the Old Testament and the entire New Testament.
Dang. That's cool. That is.
Give him more credit. I mean, yeah, he really did it last week. Yeah, Stephen, you're right. He did it last week. He just started
on
that.
Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Would this be the young man that's been leading our Sunday night Bible studies?
It would be.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
And would the person he's been discipling be the one that looks like a young Robert Downey Jr.?
No.
Okay, just check.
No.
Just checking, because he's a genius too. I could see him reading it like during lunch.
I've got a link I need to send you today. That guy gave his testimony to the school newspaper this past week.
Really?
The Robert Downey Jr. that you're talking about.
Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they didn't censor it when
really
you mentioned God and put, unidentified deity of your personal choice.
That was a little bit like Max Headroom there for just a second.
I love Max Headroom.
Exactly. Sorry, guys. That was a total. I'm tired, and y'all know I'm tired because I've been complaining. I'm the typical man. I whine incessantly when I don't feel good.
You poor thing. Yeah. Did y'all have you guys followed Toby on Facebook or on Instagram?
Don't. It's a beating.
We had that. I was just Facebooking the show again. You had that video you shot last night where the kids were quote unquote singing "Happy Birthday" to you, and you were like doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, holding it. Yeah,
y'all need to see that because.
And your dog
Brian's going crazy.
Yeah. So Dave his family has what's the word, Dave? It's a work dog. Service dog. Yeah, a work dog.
And does some light housework.
Yeah. So he helped sing "Happy Birthday" to me last night. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a service dog for my daughter Jana. His name is Brian, and he is extremely cool. He's a little over a year old, and he is.
Tell your wife we're busy.
Gee whiz.
It's probably something major going on, and you just keep hanging up.
I'm going to look out your window, make sure the school's not burning down. He's a little over a year old, and we got him from a wounded warrior who had him, actually saved him from being euthanized when he was a pup. He had a bad hip, so he saved him from being euthanized, and has a service dog of his own that he was training. And so he raised this one alongside the other. And so he picked up a ton of stuff just shadowing the existing service dog. Really cool. So you guys can ask Toby. He does things amazing. Naturally that we've only like done very light training on. He just kind of does them. Like when somebody comes into a room and it's like a big imposing person or something, he gets up, and the ridge on his back gets up and he gets in front of Jaina, and he starts growling because there's this giant figure that appeared from nowhere who's approaching his girl. It's really cool. But he's really cool. He's a really, really neat dog. And he barks, like when it gets loud and ruckus, like last night, he just was barking. When we first started bringing him to church, anytime we would finish a praise and worship song and everybody starts clapping, he would start barking and all this kind of stuff, And so, we're like, kind of self-conscious going, shh, no, and stuff. And like all these old people in the church were like, hey, he's praising Jesus. You let him bark. And it's like,
leave him alone. Yeah.
So that's cool. I was going to tell you, we were talking about on-site, off-site backup. So like personally, I use CrashPlan and my Drobos and QNAP to, kind of a belt and suspenders kind of thing. For a church or any kind of organization, or actually you and I could do this ourselves, Toby, if we wanted to. Are you guys familiar with BitTorrent Sync? Anybody heard that?
Mm-hmm.
BitTorrent Sync.
Nope.
Okay. So if you guys go to GetSync, sync.com, I will show you. So GetSync.com, this is a free service. You can pay for it and actually get a little bit faster throughput. But basically what it does, and I will launch mine and show you. Let's see here. Where'd it go? There it is. What it does minimize this. I'll make sure everything looks nice for you guys. Sorry.
Close that open seat and it'll give you a little bit more room in the middle, maybe.
Lock the seat. Oh yeah. Maybe not. Okay.
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay, there we are. All right. So BitTorrent Sync, what it does is you can add a folder. So if I go to add a folder, it's going to be a standard folder because I'm not doing pro. Continue. And then I'll go to, say, Help My Business and Episode Drop, because that's where Andrew and I drop all his shows. So you hit open, and it's already synced. Okay, duh. Let's see. I'll do something different. Let's go to churchtrainingacademy.com and hit open. All right. Now, what it does is it gives me a few options. So I can choose read only or read and write. And then I can, for security wise, I can say all peers that I invite must be approved. The link will expire in X amount of days, and the link can be used X amount of times. And then I can email this link, or I can copy it and paste it. Here's the actual key. This is an encrypted key, or a QR code. And what that lets you do, let me switch cameras. What that lets you do is take a folder on your local machine and share it with somebody or some other device. And when they receive that share request, they then go and identify a folder or a storage place on that device. I don't even know who this is.
Somebody that has $1 million that they need to get overseas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a Nigerian prince. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
What will happen is when they open up the link, they will then identify a folder or a storage location on the device. So it could be a tablet, a phone, it could be another computer, and then it will basically synchronize those two using an encrypted tunnel directly between that device and the source. Okay. and it's encrypted. It uses the BitTorrent protocol to do this, and it is stupid fast. So what happens now is I will drop something in that folder, and then that folder will start communicating with the remote folder when it's online. So the little app has to be running on your desktop or on your phone or your tablet or whatever. And as long as the internet connection is there and these two services are running, then whatever's in one folder will automatically start showing up in the other folder. And then when you delete it from one folder, it deletes it from the other folder. It synchronizes them. And it is stupid fast. And when I say it's stupid fast, Toby, I mean it is stupid fast. So Andrew over at...
How fast would stupid fast
ridiculously be? Andrew at helpmybusiness.com, he will record his shows, and they may be 10 gigs, 20, 30 gigs, depending on how long he records. So there'll be this MOV file that's like 10, 20, 30 gigabytes. He'll copy it over to the computer that he has sync running on, and within a few hours, it shows up in the matching folder on my system. And then I take it and I edit it and do all that sort of stuff. And when it's all said and done, I take the master files that I've created for him, the various versions of the show, and I drop them into another folder that's synced between us, and they start doing it. So for offsite storage, this is genius. What you could do is you could get a Drobo and take it to your house and set it up, or across the street and set it up. Basically, take the root folder on of one of your data warehouses, take that root folder and share it through BitTorrent Sync to the other, as long as you have matching storage sizes, or enough space. Then all of a sudden it's going to, and you now have remote backup. Church building blows up, chances are the school's not.
Yeah, I was just right now looking to see if Synology has the ability, because it's got an app center on it. I'm wondering if it will let me do anything.
It probably does have BitTorrent Sync. That's what you're going to look for. I know QNAP has BitTorrent Sync available in the App Store for QNAP. But regardless, if you just mount it,
look, BitTorrent Sync, there it is.
You can also just mount it.
I'm installing it.
You can mount it on a machine. So if you have a closet with a whole bunch of storage that is network attached storage, you could put a laptop in there and have it map to those drives, and then kind of lock it down, But basically, it mapped to those drives and then run it from there. So whatever the Z drive has, that's what's going to be set up at the other place. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you guys can do that as well. And I will put a tutorial together on using that, and that will be part of the content that's going up at churchtrainingacademy.com. That will be free. So we're going to be doing some free stuff, and we're going to be doing the member only stuff. And this will be a great little tip that I'll put up over there for you guys as well. BitTorrent Sync. It's really cool. Go to getsync.com.
That's what it is. GetSync.
GetSync, SYNC.com. Yeah, it's fantastic. You guys are going to love it. Yeah.
I'm doing it as you speak.
What is the bandwidth requirement for BitTorrent Sync? There's not a requirement. It's what's available. So it's going to use.
Can you throttle it?
Let me look. You may. I'm trying to think. With the free version, I'm using free. Okay, yes. So even with the free version, you can limit the receiving rate and the sending rate. I leave those wide open.
Wide open.
And then what I'll do, and I know basically when stuff is getting synced, because it's kind of a routine. So if I have something that I know is going to be happening on a day, say that we're streaming, then I would go in and I would either pause the syncing, or I would just shut the client down altogether, and nothing's happening until I launch the client again. But I'll tell you, yeah, I use it. I think I was telling you the other day, one of the things that I do is I've got my Android tablet, and instead of ejecting the little micro SD card and putting it in a reader and then copying over a bunch of audiobooks or songs or something, I have a couple of folders on there. I've got like a movies folder, I've got an audiobooks folder, and I've got a music folder. And on the machine that's sitting over there that like hosts my Plex server, I will basically have a couple of extra folders that are set up using BitTorrent Sync. And if I want these 3 audiobooks, I'll just copy them into that folder and then make sure the client's running here on my tablet. And all of a sudden, stuff starts coming in. And what's really cool is I can set it up, like I said, read and write. So I can, when I'm done with an audiobook, if I delete it from my tablet, it's going to remove it from the copy that's in that folder that's kind of a transitional folder. It's fantastic. I love it.
That's cool.
So Alfredo was asking what Drobo is. Drobo is a storage array that uses multiple hard drives and ideally matched hard drives of matched sizes. You're going to get the best performance, but you can basically put any SATA hard drive in it. So you could put you got like a 5-bay Drobo. You could put in a 1 terabyte, a 2 terabyte, a 500 gigabyte, and a 3 terabyte, and a 4 terabyte. And it's going to set that all up, and you can define volume. So you could have as many volumes as you want in there, and of whatever size. But I treat it as just one big hard drive. And what it'll do is it will let you store data on there, spread that data across those drives with redundancy. And you can have like 1 or 2 hard drive redundancy. So let's say your 500 gigabyte hard drive starts getting filled up. It'll alert you, and you can just eject it and slap in a larger hard drive, and it'll start spreading that data back out across those drives, and you'll have redundancy and large storage. Like the original 4-bay Drobo had 16 terabytes addressable. So even before 4 terabyte drives were out, you could put a 4 terabyte drive in here. So I've got one that's like 6 or 7 years old, whenever they first originally came out. I could drop 4 terabyte drives in there and have 16 terabytes of space. Usable space will probably be about 12, I guess, out of there with all the redundancy. But anyway, it's really cool. Drobos are awesome. They're pricey. They're like in the $500 or $600 range, but they're really cool. One of the Drobos that they have that we've played with is, hang on, let me bring up their site again. There we go. One of the ones that they have, switch over, there you go. You guys see that? The Drobo Mini.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is cool. It is a, hello? Is their website not working? There it is, the Mini.
It's so cool that the website is broken.
You use 2.5.
That's nuts.
2.5-inch drives, okay? And I'm trying to remember.
So it's not solid state. It's just still discs.
You can use solid state if you want. There are 2.5-inch solid state drives. I'm trying to remember how many it is. I think it's 4, if memory serves me correct. Specs. Let me look at specs. Connectivity. It has 2 Thunderbolt ports. It has a USB 3 port, up to 4 2.5-inch SATA 1, 2, or 3 hard disk drives or solid state drives, 7mm and 9.5 in height. So this is awesome, and it is portable, and it comes in a little carrying case. So what
That's
is
so cool.
amazing for a guy like you, Tobe, who is a world-renowned photographer, you know, and I know that, and if you guys don't know this, I'm going to tell you, lock this in your heads, okay? Because as church media pros, as, you know, digital media professionals and stuff, if you're not thinking like this, you are setting yourself up for a world of hurt. And I'm glad someone brought up the topic of storage and backups, stuff like that, because it's paramount. If footage, whether it's an image or whether it's audio or whether it's video, does not exist in your mind unless it's in a minimum of 2 places, ideally 3 or 4. Okay? Does that make sense? So when you shoot something on a video camera and you have your SD card, okay, until you're not clear, until this has been backed up, okay, so it's been transferred to a working folder on your hard drive, okay, and then you take the original and set it away somewhere, okay, that's an absolute minimum. Ideally, the project folder is place number 1, a backup on another hard drive, internally or attached, is number 2, and then remote storage. So whether it's Carbonite or someplace like that, or another device on another machine, offsite, whatever. Okay, that's 3. Okay, and then this being the 4th, the original. So something like this.
Yeah, when I do photography, I shoot in RAW, right? And so when I bring that back, I immediately import it onto my laptop, and then I use a thing. It's a service called Fanfare that's been out forever. It's PHANFA. I got to look it up. I can't spell it.
Where photos live.
Fanfare.com. And so Fanfare was amazing because what they would do forever, you could buy, I got in real early, and so I got like a $99 all you can eat kind of platter. But they've been bought out by Amazon. And so now on the back end of Fanfare, you've actually got the Amazon servers.
AWS. Yeah. Annual fee, $29.
Yeah. And so it's amazing. It's a fantastic service. And they'll even go as far as, if you ever want to go away from Fanfare, you have to pay a fee for it, but they'll DVD everything.
That's cool.
And send it to
and
you.
by the way, CrashPlan and Carbonite do that as well. If you have a catastrophic failure, you can contact them, and for a fee, they will send you, multi-terabyte drives. Yeah,
hard copy.
Which is really cool. That's awesome. Just while we're on the subject, I did, and I'll do one. I'll do a little free tutorial about this here as well. Upload. So my friends over at Red Giant have this fantastic program. It's a little tool. It's free, called Offload. Let me see if I can. Any of you guys heard of Offload or use Offload?
I've not heard of it.
Offload is awesome. Check this out. Select a source. Let me put something in. I don't know what's on here. This could be wonderfully embarrassing.
PG.
Hope none of the youth parents are watching. He said with a note of sarcasm. Let's see. All right, so you select your source, and let's see. What is this one called? I got to find out what the name of this drive is. Oh, no name. Okay, I'm going to rename it real fast. It's so funny. Like anytime you format a CF card or something in whatever camera, whatever you're using, it's usually like no name, Canon, unknown.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me just double check. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so let me switch cameras real quick. I'll show you. All right, so you select your source. When you put in a card, it'll kind of like automatically do it for you. So I'm going to go to the one called this one, and it's going to show what files are on there. In this case, a couple of things that I shot with the GoPro. See those there, right? You come through, and it's going to take whatever media is on that card, and you can make a copy, so you can browse to wherever you want the files to be stored. And then you can add subfolders that are like the date that it was shot and, whatever other current information you want to add to it. And then another place for a backup. And then it goes through and transfers the files, copies them to both locations. So it'll do the location of, say, your project folder in the footage folder. Okay, that's, and then camera 1, let's say. So you tell it, this great project /footage /camera 1, and that's where this card's data is going to go to. And then you tell a backup, and it's going to be like, my great backup drive / this project footage / camera 1. And it'll go through and it'll copy to 1 with checksums. It'll verify all the data. Then it'll do the backup and it will use checksums and verify all the data. And then it says it's done. So that is really cool. When you have something like offload and say a Drobo Mini and you're out in the field doing video shoots or doing photo shoots or photo sessions, like Toby, you did a huge photo session for the seniors in our youth group.
2,700
pictures. Now, some photographers will like automatically do all their previewing on their laptops or whatever. You could like kind of get this set up with something like Lightroom where it automatically ingests, automatically makes backups, all that kind of stuff. Or what you were doing was just loading up a camera and then dumping it, or loading up a card and then dumping it. So you could load up a card, say do 5 seniors, swap cards, put this on your laptop, and then load in your next card, continue your shoot while this is making a local copy and then a copy onto the Synology across the network or something. Really, really cool stuff.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
So I hope that helps you guys. I hope you've learned something. That's our whole goal here at This Week in Church Media. Does anybody have any questions
this week?
So Tommy says, since Facebook is forever, I use it for backup. There's a little something to that. I can definitely see that being as a nice option. Do you guys have Amazon Prime? Does anybody use Amazon Prime? Yeah, I do too.
I do.
Did you know that as part of a Prime membership, you have like unlimited storage of your photos in your account? So on your...
But I'm intimidated to use it because I don't think I'm going to keep Prime forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because of your 401k?
Yeah, because I'm tanking.
might have to give you my
I'm tanking.
give my credentials. But yeah, you can it uses the Amazon storage and all that sort of stuff. That is a great thing to do. You guys know about Google Photos, right? Does everybody know about Google Photos? Okay, good. Google Photos is cool. If you're like, I do most of my businessy junk using Google apps. So I do my script writing in Docs and use the spreadsheets. I don't do, like, when I'm talking, doing speaking engagements and stuff like that, I don't use Google Slides for doing the presentations, but I could. In fact, I like to use I keep wanting to say ProPresenter. What's the thing that we use on the Macs for presentations?
Yeah, ProPresenter.
No.
What did you say?
No, I keep wanting to say ProPresenter, but that ain't
Keynote.
Keynote, thank you. So Keynote. So I do all my presentations for speaking engagements in Keynote, but you could take that and import it to Google Slides, which is a really cool backup because, as you know, if you're doing any kind of speaking, the computer gets messed up or you don't have the right connections for the thing or whatever, you could always grab somebody else's and log into your Google account and then do your, run it from Slides. So anyway, I use all those things. And I'm also, a couple of years ago when they started making all the Chromebooks, they had a free 2-year subscription to Google Drive, like premium, for like 1 terabyte of storage for free for like 2 years. So I'm just now started my 2nd year of that. So I have like 1 terabyte of Google Drive storage. And depending on your settings with Google Photos, you can get, it's like if you do the original file size, I think it's like unlimited storage, or maybe it's, maybe it's like not high quality, maybe it's not like extreme quality, it's like high quality or something. One of those, if you choose that as the file size that you're going to use, it's like unlimited. So it doesn't count against your storage or anything like that. So Google Photos is a great place. And with Google Photos, it automatically, it grabs the EXIF data. So it puts things by date. It can go through and identify faces. So if, as long as they have a Gmail account, then it can start like identifying people in it and stuff, which is really cool. And then it also, if you do an event, so let's say, we did paintball here this last weekend, right? The paintball, if you took all those pictures from paintball and you dumped them all into Google Photos, then like after all that's done, it would like say, hey, here's a little slideshow of your event at such and such paintball place, you know, and it's cool. It does little things like that.
That is cool.
Yeah. Are you sure they don't store RAW on Google? I'm wondering because I actually have Google Drive, the app, installed on this machine in my laptop, so I actually can treat it like just a regular drive, you know, where it's just a folder and you dump stuff in there. And I could swear I've put RAW files in there. I don't remember if they've shown up though. Anyway, we're going to need to go because you guys need to get on with your lives, and Toby and I need to do things. And Toby, are you still sick? Are you holding back some puke?
No. Look, my cheeks are even flushed, guys. Do you feel sorry for me? God, I'm a wimp.
Hey, you want to go get some Menudo?
I'm the worst.
You want to go get some Menudo?
Oh, you saw my dog wink picture, didn't you? I love that dog wink picture, man.
Oh, that's right. I saw that. That caught Jana's eye.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, do you guys have?
So, Dave, aren't you glad I toughed it out and came in?
Yes. Yes. I really do.
I've offered absolutely nothing, so you're welcome.
No, I was going to have to grab somebody. He emailed me like at 9:30 going, Dave, I'm sick. I don't even know if I can stay at my desk. I think y'all, if he moves the camera, you may see a bucket right next to his desk. He's had a rough week.
No, that's what's next to my there. There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, it's right. Just one quick turn away.
Just with a liner. That's good.
Yes, with a liner. The liner is very important.
That's right. Yeah, so he was like, I don't think I can make it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And so I said, hey, don't worry about it. You know, and I had the glass guy coming. So my original plan was to do a full show with me and Toby. But then I was going to come on here at
thanks, Tommy,
and say, hey, you know, Toby's sick. Here's a couple of quick tips, you know, and my glass guy is going to be here. So I was going to cut it short, but we were able to make it all work. And thank you.
Mm-hmm. See Jesus behind my head. Jesus, take the wheel.
That's right. He's looking over you. Is that the idol you pray to?
No.
No. Okay.
No. You know what that is, though? I don't know if you guys churches have ever done it. It's kind of cheesy, but I like it because I'm a little bit cheesy. That was like from 10 years ago, probably not 10, 7 years ago when we took like all the church pictures for our new church directory, and they composited all of that into the body of Christ. So all the pictures.
It's kind of like a photo mosaic, but it's a more defined photo mosaic.
It is. It is. You would find your family in there.
Cool. That is awesome.
It was cool. Yeah, there you go. That's all I got.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you, Tommy.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys have learned a little something. If you guys have questions, feel free to email us. You can reach me, dave@churchtrainingacademy.com. And you can reach Toby where? Where'd you go?
I'm just playing around with the camera now.
Oh, now you're like Kilroy.
That's what I was trying to be. Thank you. All right. You can reach me at probably Facebook is the best. T. Henshaw.
T. Henshaw on Facebook.
Henshaw or Toby Henshaw. No,
and you guys can find me on Facebook at the Dave Curley, and also as Dave Curley. I don't, one or the other. One of them is like a public figure page. The Dave Curley is a public figure page. The other one is my personal account. So take a stab at either one. I have a request for you guys. It is not officially live yet. I'm working on our YouTube channel. I've got I got 2 shows up there, but I haven't set them live yet. But I need to reserve our name, and I can't do it until there's like 100 likes. So, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, those are the raw files. I'm going to put the other files up there. How how am I going to do this? I hate this part because I have some stupid, long, ridiculous URL that is the YouTube URL. How am I going to do this? You know what? You guys, I'm on Facebook, so y'all go to facebook.com, look up Dave Curley, find me. I'm going to do a post that has the YouTube URL. You guys can do a search for This Week in Church Media on YouTube. This Week in Church Media. Yeah, and you're going to find it. But it's not, the videos are not live yet. I'll go ahead and let me jump in there real fast. I'm going to make the 2 raw recordings live. And then in a few minutes I'll put up the episode 0 and episode 1. Let's see here. Bear with me just a sec. This is live TV, folks. But what I'm getting is I need everybody to subscribe, please. Are these live? I need everyone to subscribe. I need to get 100 subscribers so I can then make the URL be This Week in Church Media or TWICM, something like that, so that it's actually, you know.
That sounds like a disease.
What?
TWICM.
Oh yeah, he's got
TWICM sounds like something you go to the doctor for.
Twickum. He's a bad case of Twickum.
TWIC. Twickum. I like it.
Let me see here. All right, so I made one of them live, and these are just the raw recordings. I made a playlist of just the raw recordings, so that you guys can see the sausage being made, and then see the the actual real product when it goes up. That one's public. Okay, yeah. So if you guys do a search for This Week in Church Media on YouTube, and please subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Toby and I both would, because we need to get to 100 so I can reserve the name. That's the first little milestone. And I'll put a link in Facebook. So if you guys find me on Facebook, you can click it there as well. But anyway, yeah, we need to get to 100 subscribers so I can make it look more official. And I'm going to be fleshing it out. There's going to be other things going up in there as well. There's going to be these shows. There's going to be free tutorial videos and things like that are going to be in there. It's going to be a great little place. I may even curate a few lists of other good stuff. And, you know, like I said, if you guys have questions, be sure to email me, Dave at churchtrainingacademy.com. If you have show ideas, if you have topics, if you have things that you need help on or anything like that, reach out to Toby and I, and those will be great topics, and we'll develop training and whatever else you guys need. So we're here to serve you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Toby, thank you for toughing it out and, you know, sitting on a cork or whatever you had to do.
Oh, don't make me laugh.
Oh, sorry. All right. If you don't have anything else, we can say goodbye. Thanks, guys.
I got nothing. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Okay, and that is a close. Cool.
There you go.
Dave, your Facebook.
See you, Dave.
Let me send a request. What? All right, Toby is gone, poor guy. It won't let you send a request. What are you talking about? Hang on. Let me look. So if you go to facebook.com/Dave Curley, DAVECURLEE, you see that? No button for friend request? What are you talking about? That is weird. Let me open up an incognito window and take a look. That is really weird because I got friend requests yesterday and the day before. In fact, Marty McFadden, what is it? What is Marty? I don't want to say the wrong name. Marty McPadden. I okayed Steve. And that's really weird. Which did you do, Dave Curley or the Dave Curley? You're welcome, Alfredo. We do this ideally between 10 and 10:15. Looks like it's going to be 10:15 probably every Thursday. So Dave Curley and okay, hey Alfredo, can you go to Facebook real quick and check my account and see if it does a friend request for you or allows you to do a friend request? Would you mind? Facebook.com/Dave, D-A-V-E, no spaces, Curley, C-U-R-L-E-E, or Dave.Curley. Every button you see is a message. Man, that's weird, dude. Did I already okay you? I might have, Tommy. Tommy, what's yours? Let me go friend you, in case I already didn't. I could have sworn I did. Oh, duh. Bitly. That's not a bad idea. Tom Willis. All right, so you're not in a metal band, are you? What's the actual what name did you reserve or when you reserved it? Tom Willis. You tried Tom dot Willis. That's weird. Got some Justin Bieber kind of kid. Tom Willis, Alabama. All right, so let me do a search. Did you reserve your own name or vanity URL? There are a lot of Tom Willises. Wow. This is interesting. I've got a Tom Willis that has one mutual friend with me, and it's a picture of a guy with his daughter. Is that you? San Antonio, Kilgore, Bumblebee LLC. Seriously, I could swear Tom Willis is a name as common as John Smith. I wonder if it will let me do Alabama. Are you a dentist? Are you at the University of Alabama Dentistry School? Hmm. Hey, you know what you could do? Go to your Facebook page, and copy the URL and paste it in there. Let me see if I get it that way. Foley, Alabama. Morris, Alabama. Mellow Valley, Alabama. Montgomery, Auburn University. Reeltown, Alabama. Up. Reeltown. There you are. Awesome. So weird. I see add friend here. Surely I don't have like 5,000 friends. I mean, seriously, not me. Yeah, I have 805 friends, so I'm well under the 5,000 limit. I really have no idea why. Does anybody else see that? Anybody else go to facebook.com/dave.curly and not see the ability to add a friend? I just saw a friend request come in. Let's see. Tom, you accepted it. That's good. Thank you, sir. Man, that is really weird. Yeah, I see that. Just you as public. Hmm. That is so weird. I've been getting friend requests. I mean, that's the weird thing. And you subscribe to YouTube. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. All right. Well, I'm not sure what the deal is. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is. That's really weird, though. Anyway, I'm going to go. I've got a lot of editing to do, and I've got an ebook to finish and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, good visiting with you. Thanks for joining. And, we're on Facebook together now, so holler at me. Talk to you later.